Matthew Stuckey here from Verity Baptist Church Philippines, just giving you a quick missionary update. This past week we had a total of 78 salvations. It's a bit lower than we normally have. We are in the middle of a pretty strict quarantine, so that's making it more difficult. But we have kind of started reaching out to new areas with soul winning. And so there's a group of people that are regularly going soul winning in Bicol. And it's kind of something new that we just started, but they've been doing the work for a long time, going soul winning down there. And if you're a like-minded person that is near the Bicol area, get in contact with me, and I'd love to get you in contact with the people that are down there that are going soul winning and starting a great new ministry there. So we're excited about that. There's also a lot of soul winning going on in Singapore and Hong Kong with some like-minded people. If you are in Asia and you're in one of those areas or you have relatives that are there. And of course we have our churches in Manila and Pampanga, and also we have regular soul winning in Bulacan as well. So we're trying to reach out to a lot of areas, but there are a lot of restrictions right now, so it's kind of made our results a little bit lower for the time being. In terms of sermons that were preached, on Tuesday we started a new series. We started through the book of Genesis. So we're in Genesis chapter 1, and there's a lot to cover in that chapter, so we're actually going to spend another week in Genesis chapter 1. I just talked about creation this past week. Then on Saturday and Sunday, I kind of had a two-part series on the King James Bible. The first half was really on the idea of a perfect Bible. The second half was on the King James itself. I've never really preached on that subject other than in passing, so I decided to cover it. We actually have a couple more, kind of mini sermon series, like 2 sermons the next couple weeks, which we're going to be doing before we bounce into another verse-by-verse book, probably the book of Psalms. So that's overall what I was preaching on and everything like that. Overall, things are going okay, but we do have a lot of struggles, so there's various things for you to pray for our church about. We are in the middle of a 2-week extended community quarantine. It is supposed to end this week, and we really hope that it will end because it makes it very hard for our church family to come to church. It's greatly hindering our soul winning results. For those that are overseas, as far as I know, Asia as a continent is very, very strict with COVID compared to other parts of the world. I know the Philippines has been incredibly strict in terms of, not even just a face mask, but a face shield is required here in the Philippines in a lot of locations, public locations. And so, and children are not allowed out in public and everything like that. So it's definitely very hard for stay-at-home moms, and it's very strict. And you know what, I don't mind the difficulties, but it is a bit of a hindrance to soul winning when some people can't come to church and there's restrictions on meeting and stuff like that. So just be in prayer for us. I know the COVID cases are rising, but they said it was going to be a 2-week lockdown. Before they were talking about that our country couldn't afford this, so I don't know if they'll get rid of the quarantine. We're still figuring that out, but obviously we'll do the work the best we can during this time period. Also, something else to pray about. I wasn't sure if I was going to mention it, but one of our church members actually passed away a couple days ago on Saturday, and she went home to be with the Lord, and their families are still part of our church. And obviously as a missionary church, I mainly cover salvations because that's what I think most people are curious about. Obviously it's receptive on the mission field, but we're local churches, just like any other church that has difficulties, struggles, problems within the church, people having sickness, people having depression, which is why we operate as a church. I try to preach the whole counsel of God, just like I would preach at a church in America. So just be in prayer for that family. They're a huge blessing to us, and obviously she went home to a better place. She went home to be with the Lord. And so we just have had a lot going on here recently, really since July started. It's been kind of the most difficult stretch here for us as a church. So just be in prayer for us and everything, that things will start to open up. We're really hoping that this week the ECQ will be gone and things will be back to normal, but we shall see. And anyways, that's the update for the week. Thank you, and God bless.